What's good, Postman? Liveoffbeats.com. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe. In this video, I'm gonna give my reaction to the Vibes interview over at Producer Grind. A lot of producers have hit me up and said, "Hey, man, what do you think about what Vibes was talking about as far as selling beats online? Should you sell beats online? The industry." Some people wanted clarification on what he meant by certain things. Just wanted to get my overall take on it. So normally, make sure you like, comment, subscribe to the channel, liveoffbeats.com. So normally I never really comment on stuff like this, only because, generally I don't really watch stuff. I don't have the time to really watch and sit down and watch, other channels and producer interviews and stuff. I'm so busy, right? Between doing my music, between running a company and other companies, consulting. I don't have the time, but quite a few producers have hit me up and wanted me to watch the interview. It was a pretty long interview. It was a great interview. It was done by the people over at Producer Grind, which is a great channel. I'll put the link down there in the description. Make sure you check out the interview and subscribe to their channel because, like I said, it was a dope interview. I like how they had it set up, and they asked some very, very good questions. Very thorough interview. So if you don't know who Vybe is, just a backstory. Vybe was a producer who was online, who was killing the game. I would say he was one of the top guys, maybe, I don't know, 8-9 years ago, something like that. He was on SoundClick and was at the top of SoundClick and was making a lot of money selling beats online, was one of the more popular. Now, the way Vibes came into play and that crew in that time period was they came after me and my time period. So basically, we pioneered SoundClick. This is before they even knew what SoundClick was. We pioneered SoundClick. We created the whole idea of uploading your beats, getting on the charts, and we started selling our beats. This is before, PayPal was too popular. We were still Western Union money. And then, as it grew, a lot of the guys who I started with, that were killing the game. I mean, killing the charts, killing the bread. They just kind of wanted to do other things. You know what I mean? It was like, okay, yeah, this is cool. We did the online beat selling thing. They went on to do. Some of them went on to do major projects. Get signed to major labels and kind of come off the internet thing. I went on and founded Liveoffbeats.com. To help share what I was doing because a lot of producers would hit me up because I was at the top, and they was like, "Yo, what are you doing? How's it work?" And so, how you making money? I'm a producer. I'm, trying to start out, and so I went on and did Live Off Beats. So when I went and did Live Off Beats, the other producers went and kind of did their thing. Then a new wave of producers came and took it to the next level. So I feel like Vibes was one of that. It was a few of those guys around that I remember, but I remember Vibes was one of the guys that were, came in and took it to that next level or whatever. So that's the backstory. So in watching the interview, there's a few points I guess that the producers were kind of confused about or didn't really understand. So I'm gonna give my take. So this is my interpretation. So I'm not saying this is what he meant or this is what he is actually saying. I'm saying this is what I took from it. So again, you gonna watch it, you may take something else from it. He may meant something totally different. So he would have to clarify that. But I'm telling you from what I got from it when I was watching it, and what I heard from what he was saying. So the first thing, one of the questions I got from producers were, is he shitting on selling beats online? Why is he shitting on it? I didn't take it as he was shitting on selling beats online. So he was saying essentially that he is doing the industry thing, and he has like a crib and he got a manager now, and they're trying to do the major placement thing, and so they got songwriters. So that's not uncommon. So basically in the industry, what it is that it's very rarely that you're gonna just make beats and sell beats. That's why he was saying the beats ain't really worth anything. But I've been telling y'all that for years. Once you go into an industry level and you want to get more money for what you're doing, they want to hear finished songs that they can just take and purchase the whole song from you that's ready to go, ready to be recorded. So especially if you're doing R&B and pop and stuff like that, nobody give a damn about no beats. You know what I'm saying? Like, people want to hear finished songs, completed ideas, or almost completed ideas they can take. So just an empty beat, don't have much value. I learned this when I was working at a studio. I rented out a studio for about a week, and one of the top engineers in the game ever. Like, I'm talking about not top engineers now, or young guys. I'm talking about an OG engineer, top of the game, worked with all the top major producers throughout the years from like the 80s, 90s. I mean, he's just a top guy. And so we were in there making beats, and he was like, "Yo, oh man, your beats sound good, but they ain't really worth nothing because you don't have no top liner. Where's your top liners at?" I'm like, "What the hell is that?" He's like, "You need top liners. You want reference tracks set because you're just in here making beats. But if you want to really get into the industry, And you're gonna need full songs that are done and recorded so people can hear what the finished product is supposed to be, and then they don't have time to sit there and be like, okay, you submit your tracks to an A&R and like, okay, oh, these beats sound good. Now they wanted to say, okay, this song right here is a hit record. We need to get that from you. So what he was saying was his team, what they're doing now is they're just making these tracks. He got songwriters, they're writing the songs, writing the, engineering it, making it sound good, and getting it off like that in the game. So that's not uncommon. I've seen producers do that. I know producers, friends of mine who do that. So it's nothing uncommon there. Now, another thing that I noticed in an interview was that he wishes he was saying how he wished he would just went straight to the industry type producer and almost skipped selling beats online, period. And a lot of producers didn't understand why he was saying that. But from what I took from it was that he is saying that his talent level, his level of genius, his dedication to the craft, he is on the same level musically as his peers, the guys who are at the top getting Grammys, selling millions of records, tens of millions of records, plaques, and all that type of stuff, all those accolades that we want as producers. He's on that type of level, so those guys are getting those accolades when he can be doing the same thing if he hadn't just been trying to do the online thing, but really put that energy and effort towards getting into the industry and become a major factor, as far as household name producer. So he would basically be where when you hear Mike Will or you hear Mustard, you hear Vibes right up there with that. I mean, I understand that. That's probably true. I mean, his beats are that good. He feels his talent level is that good. I can understand that. He's like, oh, I could have skipped that whole process and just became a industry producer. And what would have happened was the type of money he would have been making off making hit singles would have been far surpassed what he was making online. Even though to most producers the money he was making online was good and great money, he feels that his talent level and skill level was high enough to where he could have been getting those big checks that you're not gonna get from online. Them royalty checks, from that back end, and that's that, from them worldwide songs and #1 Billboard hits, where you're getting real checks on the back end, right? So I understand that. So I don't think he was shitting on selling beats online as much as he's saying for him, he realizes now that he's around these guys how much further they probably are economically. I believe, and again, this is my interpretation, that he's saying that he's around Metro Boomin. He sees economically, financially, what they've gained from their craft, from being producers, industry producers, versus what he's probably made and generated over the years as an online producer. He's saying, damn, I could have been over here raking in M's and maybe tens of millions. You know what I'm saying? Possibly. You know what I'm saying? And so now he's seeing like, okay, I would have just went right over here. So I understand that perspective. Now for me, I don't necessarily agree with that. That's not my take on it, because my take on it has always been like, I've seen that shit come and go. Like the difference is that I've been doing this since 2003 online. And I knew producers who took their shit offline, got in the industry, had a nice little run, was hot, and then now, you're not gonna be hot in the industry for 30, 40 years. I don't give a damn. It just ain't gonna happen. There's very few producers. Do you even know there's only really one production group or duo or producer who's had #1 records in 3 different decades, and that's Jimmy Jam and Terry Lewis. They did in the 80s, 90s, and 2000s, but it's very, very rare. So in my opinion, after dealing with producers who've done that and have gotten some placements and gotten in some bread, I say that you still want to maintain an online presence. Even if you don't sell the beats online, you still want to maintain your online presence, a client base online, a name online. So when them industry placements is slowing the fuck up and they drying up, you know what I'm saying? And you still have an asset, you have assets that you can tap into to generate some type of income, right? I'm a businessman, you understand what I'm saying? And a music producer, but I understand business. So I look at the long game. How you gonna feed your family 15 years from now? You still gonna be chasing these major placements in 15 years, 20 years? But if you got an asset that you built, look at the people who started Native Instruments. Think about that. They don't give a fuck about placements can come and go. Producers gonna come and go. #1's gonna come and go, but guess what? They gonna have millions of dollars every single year because they have an asset. Native Instruments is an asset. You know what I'm saying? The people at Spectrum Spectronics that make Omnisphere, it don't matter who's having #1 hit records, what producer is hot, what placements, because they have a consistent asset and brand that they're gonna be able to make money 20 years from now. As the technology changes, they can change right with it, and new producers come in, new artists come in, new music come in, they'll still be able to make millions of dollars. So I understand business. Where's the asset behind it? So if I'm a producer, if I'm getting checks right now, if I got a hot name, I'm trying to get some assets, use my brand name to start bringing awareness to my assets and build that, to build my clientele, build my email list, build my subscriber base. So that way, 15 years from now, I'm still clocking in. Okay? So that's the way I look at it, because I'm a businessman first. I own multiple companies. I said, oh, the producer in me, I just want to make beats. I just want to make songs. I want to have hit records. I want plaques and I want accolades. Okay? But to me, that's fine. You can chase that all day, but I'm not going to give up my online brand. I've seen producers do that, have a nice little run, and then come back like, yo, I ain't making no bread. I ain't got placements in a couple years now, right? So where's the money going to come from? So I understand not selling beats, so let me get into that. He's saying, the producer asking why he not selling beats online no more. Well, I understand that, because what he's saying is you don't want to devalue the product. So if I'm in the industry and I have my manager going into labels saying, hey, we want 5 grand, 10 grand, 20 grand advancement, 30 grand up front. If we doing that, I can't go online and say, well, it's a buy one, get one free $20 lease on the same product. That don't make sense. You can't go to Louis Vuitton and have Louis Vuitton can't have Louis Vuitton prices, and you go to Walmart and see a Louis Vuitton bag hanging in the fucking racks on Walmart. But that don't mean that the products that's selling in Walmart, it's a different business model. Neither one is wrong. Louis Vuitton is making fucking billions of dollars. But so is the brand that's in Walmart that's like, hey, we gonna be $20 for a motherfucking bag. Excuse my language, I gotta stop cussing so I can get these ad money. But that's $20 for a bag, right? But that don't make one wrong or the other one right. They just saying they want to mass produce it and get it out to the masses, as opposed to them wanting to have a quality brand, but they can't mix. That $20 bag can't go nowhere else. Say, hey, you know what? We want to charge you $5,000 for this bag. What's that? Wait a minute. That bag, you just selling it for $20 in Walmart. How you going to charge me $5,000? So that's how he looking at the product. And he said he got a manager. That makes sense. So if I was a manager and I'm advising a producer who's saying they want to get in the industry, I would advise them to say, hey, man, don't put your beats online for sale. But I would also advise them, because I understand the internet, I understand the long game, but don't stop building your brand. Don't stop building your list. Don't stop building your clientele and subscribers. Go hard as hell on that, because we can leverage that. You know what I'm saying? And you're going to be able to eat off that for the next 10, 15, 20, 30 years, but the product won't be the beats anymore. Start doing some beat tutorials, do whatever you got to do, but make sure that you're not selling the beats, but make sure you stay in front of the people, you stay building your brand, stay building your assets on top of that. And then, like I said, the products, you move that in the industry. We're going to move these songs in the industry. You understand what I'm saying? So we're going to be getting we're doing Louis Vuitton. We're going to be the Louis Vuitton of the music production. We're not going to be the $20 Walmart. That don't make it. So a lot of producers, I think they were feeling the type of way like, well, are you saying that because I'm at Walmart selling my stuff through Walmart distribution for $20, that make me less of a producer? It don't make you less of nothing. It's a business model, right? And I liked how producer Grind did challenge him, because when he said, they did ask good questions. I liked the interview because they did ask good questions, because they said, would you sell beats online again if you had to do it over again? He was like, nah, he probably wouldn't. And it was like, well, how are you going to make money as you trying to go into the industry? And that's always been my thing. You ain't got to become a millionaire selling beats online, but what are you going to do, work a job? How are you going to sustain yourself? Now, I understand he's a young guy. He really wasn't thinking in those terms, but they asked him that question, like, well, what are you going to do, have a job and work a 9 to 5 while you trying to do the production career? But why not go online? But I take a step further and say, you wouldn't be getting those industry opportunities if you weren't online marketing, if you didn't find a way to get online and start getting your name out there. So I think what happens is we start to discredit our path. Our path ain't somebody else's path. So if you got your path from being online, then be online. And that's cool. Ain't nothing wrong with that. You know what I'm saying? But I feel like from the vibe that I got from the interview, I got the vibe that he was almost embarrassed because he's around these industry guys, and you're like, oh, you selling your beats online like $20? Like, why are you doing that? Because they don't understand, because they came up in the industry where they're like, yo, we getting racks. Like, it's racks around here. Like, why are you around here getting $20 for 2 for 20? Like, That's what you're doing? You know what I'm saying? So the peer group then makes you feel like, okay, what you doing was less than or it wasn't nothing, because they getting more bread for single tracks, and for records. They like, yo, why are you doing that? Your talent level is over here. But you can't discredit the path, because like I said, it's a producer in Idaho. How's he gonna get to placements? How you gonna get to all this industry stuff? It's the fact that you get online and you make this brand name. That's why I said we don't understand. It's like the brand, you know what I'm saying? Like the Vibes brand is why that got you in them doors from what you did online years ago. Because he kept saying in the interview that, yeah, they like, yo, Vibes, I remember you. I remember. So if they remember you, that's because you was online. So if you were just another producer submitting stuff through the email, you know what I'm saying, trying to network and stuff like that, then you might not even been noticed. So that's why I say don't discredit what you did on the internet. You know what I'm saying? Like, that was good work. That was genius level stuff. If you took over the internet game, that was genius. You know what I'm saying? But now I understand he's moving on and saying, okay, we trying to get to some real back end money, some real major checks, and that's nothing wrong with that either. I got my own opinions about that. Like I said, my own opinions is that I don't never understand why someone would want to leave their internet brand. You understand what I'm saying? I don't understand why someone would leave their internet. I understand why you would stop selling beats online, and even then I don't understand that, because I would say just raise your price to $3,000-$4,000 a track. Say, okay, we're not doing no leases online, but you can still buy from online, $5,000 a record. You know what I'm saying? And then these are the beats that you're not making songs to. You get what I'm saying? You're not making songs to these in reference tracks. So these ain't the beats that you would be trying to sell in the industry. But if y'all making hella beats and they just sitting on a hard drive somewhere, why wouldn't you say, okay, let's go try to get 2 or 3 bands from the independent market, while the placement market, you know what I'm saying, it's not consistent enough to where it's like, hey, here's a check every day. Where's your cash flow coming from? See, these are the type of terms I think about as a business owner, not just as a producer. I'm thinking about cash flow. Not, because see, what's going to happen is you have to get a loan. You have to sign some type of deal, get an advancement, and then try to wait to recoup that on the back end. But why would I do that when I could just have straight cash flow? I don't owe nobody nothing. It's my own cash flow. I could take that money and then go invest in real estate and flip that and become a millionaire. A multi-millionaire on top of that, because I got positive cash flow that's well above and beyond what a normal 9-to-5 and what my expenses is. And I'm getting that off my music on the internet. You know what I'm saying? So like I said, but I understand from a producer perspective, I want Grammys, I want plaques, I want accolades, I want to be known as that dude, I want my music heard all over the world. You know what I'm saying? These are the dreams of a music producer. I understand I had those same dreams, so I understand those dreams. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not taking anything away from producers who say that's what I'm going to be doing. And you getting checks right now, and then if it hits well, man, you're going to be living lovely off that. You're going to live lovely, but how many producers of the past was living lovely in 1995? And they thought it never was going to end. They was the hottest producer. Who was the hottest producer in 1995? Who was the hottest producer in 1998? Who was the hottest producer in 1999? Who was the hottest producer? I don't know. But I bet you if you look at that time period, it was 5 or 6 or 7 producers that was super hot. They felt like they'd never fall. They felt like they'd never fall off. And now they don't even know what a placement looked like. I'm telling you. Do the research. I'm not lying to you. I'm talking numbers. See, that's what I try to teach at Liveoffbeats is numbers. We talking facts. We talking understanding of cash flow, understanding of the long game. I've been around 16 years. I started selling beats online in 2003. I'm still around. They can't get rid of me because I understand assets. I understand cash flow. I understand having an email list, a client base, customer list. See what I'm saying? They can't get rid of me. I'll be here in 30 years. I'll still be here. You understand? And selling beats online is only getting bigger and bigger. Look at the opportunity that's there to sell your beats through these different platforms like BeatStars and Airbit, where you got automated beat selling stores. All that stuff wasn't around yet. I don't even know if Vibes even was selling off that. I know when he first started, it probably wasn't even around like that yet. So he was still having to do the PayPal and sending all that. It probably was a lot of work, But like I said, I thought it was a great interview. I don't think he was trying to intentionally like crap on producers selling beats online. I think that's where some producers had took it when they was hitting me up. But I think that he was saying for himself, his talent level, his level of genius when it comes to music, he could have been in the industry raking in a lot more if he was going that route because he got the talent and the skill level to be able to compete and to be with those guys. So he wanted his name in the Raptors. So I think that's what he's saying. I don't think he's saying there's nothing wrong with selling beats online. You know what I'm saying? He just saying for him, his talent level, and I agree with him. Probably could have, man. If that's your dream, if you feel like that's what you really wanted, go after that. You know what I'm saying? Me, I always wanted cash flow, man. You know what I'm saying? I don't have to ask nobody for nothing, man. I was a producer. See, when I started, it wasn't no guys. It wasn't no, you know, so I appreciate all this. Selling beats on YouTube, seeing the young producers and all this stuff. You know what I'm saying? We've touched hundreds and hundreds of thousands of producer lives. I'm watching them come up. Now they entrepreneurs selling drum kits. I was the first producer to create a drum company from an independent producer. Look it up. Trauma Drums 2010. Shout out to Trauma. We started that. You know what I'm saying? Most producers, they didn't know where to get no drum kit. They didn't know how to create no companies. Now every producer got a drum kit and a loop pack. That's fine with me. You know what I'm saying? Because I knew it was about assets back then. I said, oh, okay, these companies is making all this bread, but we the producers. You know what I'm saying? We understand what the sound's supposed to sound like. So to me, it's about assets, you know what I'm saying, and cash flow. That's my thing. You know, and freedom. Being able to do what you want, when you want, how you want. You know what I'm saying? Or at least nobody telling you what to do. If you want to sit in your bedroom and make beats, as opposed to go clocking in a job, I think that's dope. And I think you have a lot more fun doing it. And then you want to evolve and say, okay, I've maxed out as far as what I've done online. Let me try to go to the next stage of my evolution. That's fine. But I never agree with stopping your brand online when you got something going. You got people knowing your name. I think you're supposed to use the industry stuff and plaques to make that even bigger. I think producers, we get it backwards. We so blinded by the accolades and stuff, we do it, but we say, damn, I got this brand online, but that ain't nothing, man. I'm about to go in the industry and let the online brand just fall and tank. I'm like, man, you could have used them industry plaques and all that stuff to build your brand even bigger. That use that reach over there. Now your online marketplace and expand. You'll be multi-millionaire. Imagine if Native Instruments had or Spectronics had a top producer. Their owner was a top producer in the industry, and was able to get that type of. That'd be 10 times bigger than what they already are, because they have a platform to reach millions and millions of people, to go get interviews on the Breakfast Club and talk about their company, to reach, you know what I'm saying? So what I'm saying is, we do it backwards as producers. We build this online brand and let it rot because we got a couple industry connects, man. Now, I'm not saying Vibes has done that, but I know other producers personally behind the scenes who I consult with that have done that. They was the man online. So why didn't you keep letting that momentum to you would be the super duper man now with the biggest brand? But they say, well, I'm going over to the industry now. I got a couple placements. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to be the man. Woo, here it comes. And it came. Like I got a client right now. It came and it came and went. He was living good. But guess what? Bills and expenses don't stop. So you got bills today. You're going to have bills in 20 years. And you better have income coming in 20 years from now. Now, that's a long way to think when you're 22 years old, when you're 21 years old. You're like, I'm not thinking about 20 years later. When I started selling beats online at 16, I wasn't thinking about when I was 31, 32 with a family. What I'm thinking about 16 years down the road for. I'm just trying to pay these bills now, live it up right now, kick it with my homies right now, travel, have some money in my pocket, look good. And then guess what? 16 years later come. And you still want to have an asset to be able to maintain that lifestyle and have an even bigger and better lifestyle. So overall, I think Producer Grind, I want to shout them out. I love what they doing, even though I don't give shout out. People feel like, you know, I don't see them or I don't credit. It's not that. It's just I be moving so much, but I still see what the producer community and the guys who are doing things. I love what they doing. I thought it was dope. You know what I'm saying? That interview was fly. The young guys who was doing the interview, they was on point. You know what I'm saying? You know, the Vibes was on point. He said that was his first interview ever. He was a little shaky, you know what I'm saying? A little bit. He wasn't, you know, but it looked like he was good to be your first interview ever. That was good. You know, I guess they trying to break him out of his shell because he ready to get out and get in the industry. You know, I'm assuming he got a great manager and a great team around him. So much success to him. You know what I'm saying? I don't have no advice for nobody that don't pay me, so I don't got no advice for him. But I do give him a blessing. You know what I'm saying? Blessings to him. I think he's going to be one of the biggest industry producers if that's what his mind is set on to do. Now, for me, you know, my advice to producers who, like I said, he on a different level. So if I got to tell producers something, you know what I'm saying? I shouldn't say advice because I don't like giving advice unless it's real consultation. I can really look at your stuff. So I give my opinion. Now, this ain't advice, because advice you got to follow. So I'm gonna give you my opinion. My opinion is this: build your online brand, do what you can, sell your beats online, create a following. Hey, if you only make 10, listen, if you're making, see what's interesting is, if he said he's making 25,000-30,000 a month. You know that he was a top 1% earner, or top 5% earner in the United States, top 2%, 5% off beats. That's amazing. From his own company, his own client base, his own clientele. So build your clientele. If you get to 8,000, 6,000, if you working a job and making 3,000 a month, and your beat business is online making 8,000, you winning. And you don't beat business online making 6,000. You're doing what you love. You're making music. You're getting paid off an asset that you can keep making over and over again, and then make money off the same asset you just built. That's winning to me. You know what I'm saying? If you're making $10 million, you winning. If you do it in the industry, you winning. It's different levels for different things. But to me, my opinion is get online, build your brand. I've seen it all from beginning to the end. You know what I'm saying? I've seen producers come and go. When you've been around 16 years, I've seen them come and go. And I own a community that got hundreds of thousands of producers in it. So, and I get hit up all day, every day. So, my opinion is keep building your brands online, keep selling your beats online. If you get an opportunity where you say, I want to be Louis Vuitton, I got industry connects, we can do the industry thing, then jump over there and stop selling the product, stop selling the beat online so you don't devalue your product, but keep building your brand. Keep throwing music out there for people to hear. Put out beat tapes. Put out instrumental CDs. You know what I'm saying? Just to keep the people fed and keeping your name buzzing and keeping yourself circulating amongst the people. Because you can always go back amongst the people and generate revenue and cash flow. Industry ain't going to always have cash flow and cash flow for you. And the politics behind the game, and y'all in the industry that's watching this, y'all know what I'm talking about. Y'all know y'all get frustrated with the politics because you trying to get them checks. You know what I'm saying? And you wish you could just generate cash flow without them. That's why you see producers doing on tour, DJing, and all this kind of stuff. Because they're looking for cash flow, because the industry checks the politics. You know what I'm saying? The politics that they got to deal with in terms of who get placed, who getting percentage off of this. I know. You got you think you're gonna get a placement, then you get scratched at the last moment for another producer who's signed to that particular artist. You know what I'm saying? They get to recoup some of the bread. You know what I'm saying? Because it's they artist, it's they producer that's signed to them, so they get a points off to either the songwriter or they publishing. You get what I'm saying? Like, I get the game. Like, I'm not confused about the game. So for me, my thing is like TV film is the best thing smoking right now. That's where all the money at. You know what I'm saying? The big money. You know, that's in them overseas producers. That's where they at. They're like, yo, what is TV film? Oh, I can compose. That's what the major engineers, they engineering TV shows. Y'all don't know the game, man. I'm telling y'all the game, where it's at. Now, the industry's still good money, don't get me wrong, but go look at Netflix. Where's the money going? The money's going to independent films and mid-budget films is going straight to Netflix. They're going Netflix, Prime Video, Hulu, all these places, man, that got original content, but they need their stuff scored. They need music in there. You can't have a film or nothing without music and scoring. So that means that if the budget over there is huge and they making hella money over there and they all need music, that's where the money for the producer is. I'm gonna stop giving y'all a game for free, man. You know, go buy something, man. Go liveoffbeats.com and join the membership. You know, support the channel, man. Do something, man. You know what I'm saying? But ultimately, man, I'm just messing with you. But ultimately, you know, take control of your company, which is your music production company, and make sure you got assets behind you so you can play the long game. You know what I'm saying? Because one thing you can say about Postman, say anything you want, Postman been around. Liveoffbeats started 2007. 2019, we still relevant. We moving stronger and we moving bigger than we ever have. 2007, Liveoffbeats started. I said it again, 2007, Liveoffbeats.com started. We still here, still going strong. You know what I'm saying? So, this is an asset. And guess what? 10 years from now, we'll still be going strong. 20 years, even stronger. Because of assets. So remember that term I told you, asset. What's the best asset you can have is contact information from people who are interested in what you had to offer. So the email, phone number, address of clients, that's the number one asset in your company. And when you go to sell your business, whether it's a music production business or whatever, the number one determinant is going to be revenue. But the biggest asset they're going to look at is what's your customer base. How many contacts you got in your, how many, not just leads, as in people who you trying to sell to, but what's your customer base. So when people was trying to buy me out, different companies, they was always talking about what's the customer base, what's your customer list size. You You know what I'm saying? Because they know that's the value. You know that if you got a customer base, you can always feed them and make more bread. That's the way it works. So yeah. So anyway, man, it's meant to be a 10-minute video, man. But shout out to Producer Grind. Go watch that video. I'll put the link in there. Shout out to Vybe, man. Shout out to all the producers doing their thing. You know what I'm saying? I ain't got no, and people be saying like Postman, this person may say, I don't give a damn about what nobody talking about, especially about Postman, because it don't matter to me. We good over here, man. We happy. You know what I'm saying? We happy. And that's what it's about, man. Being happy, doing what you love, man. You know, and just doing your thing, man. So don't take nothing as, you know, what he was saying as you shouldn't sell beats or taking a crap on it. I don't see it like that at all. I think he was just trying to articulate that his talent level is for the game. You know what I'm saying? He could be making M's. I agree with him. You know what I'm saying? I also agree with the producers like, yo, I want to get this thing online. I don't have no connections. We'll get online and get the hustling. Now, like I said, the only point that I would make is that don't stop building your brand and your assets online just because you got some opportunities offline. You know what I'm saying? Quit selling the product online, but keep building the brand and the list. You know what I'm saying? And your subscriber and your reach online at the same time as, you know what I'm saying, doing your thing offline and getting industry and you know, selling beats in the industry and all that type of stuff. All right? Much love, much success to all the producers, man. Liveoffbeats.com. I'm out. Peace.